And if things get too big, I do believe that they should either be democratically governed or there should be no one in charge, like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
As a business ethicist, I'm very focused on the perspective of responsibility at the company level. So I'm fascinated by how you have responded as an entrepreneur with Qbix, and in effect, you're standing on the shoulder of giants, of the open source coders who develop Linux, and you're also learning from the negative examples set by the centralized powers that create the issues that you're addressing. But I wonder if you could tell us a little bit more how your the governance and the design vision at Qbix is responsive to these issues.
Sure. If I had to say what my position politically is, I would characterize myself close to like a left libertarian. So I believe in helping people and redistributing money, but I also believe that it should be done in a voluntarist way as much as possible. And so we're giving away Qbix platform as an open source project. We monetize using cryptocurrency, and the network effect of being part of it is actually what leads people voluntarily to, we're speaking English voluntarily because it has a big network and you understand me. And that is due to the English empire, obviously using force and going in different places. But at the end of the day, we now choose to speak English for that reason. We choose to use dollars because they have a wide network effect. We choose to use Zoom rather than some other thing because of its network effect. That's what really makes people gravitate towards a certain thing. And that is actually the market. If you are able to voluntarily attract all these people, the question is, what will happen when you get so big? Does one person still control it? And then the answer of everything that you said, the shoulders of giants we stand on, everything we use, PHP, Linux, it's been given away freely. Anyone can innovate on top of it. And that's the difference. The web is actually an improvement over the previous model. And then the web, I think, will continue where you don't have landlords. Everything's end-to-end encrypted. The landlords don't know anything, and they become dumb pipes. So the same way that AT&T was replaced by dumb pipes that currently carry this Zoom call, and there's a market of them, and the cost goes to zero. Similarly, we're going to have Facebook eventually and LinkedIn and others replaced by dumb pipes. And instead of having a friend list, you share your private keys to your chat room, and nobody knows, and you just go ahead and what governments may try to do or not do. I think that is where we're all headed.
Thank you. Dimitri, would you like to kind of pose a question based on the recent exchange?
I just want to take care of those who ask questions when I feel that perhaps we didn't answer all these questions. And maybe one last one then. Sharon mentioned the desire for strong leadership. Is that something that is directly in conflict with your perhaps utopian vision? Because if you consider this type of question, if there is a legitimate almost biological desire for strong leaders to evolve, right, for society to stratify, etc., how can you reconcile that with potential vision of open internet, open source, and this benevolent distributive internet economy?
That's a great question. And by the way, there's probably a ton of questions that we didn't get to answer. If you want to get in touch with me, go to, you can email me. So go to intercoin.org. This is my latest project, intercoin.org. You'll see more of the same principles in the crypto space. Greg at intercoin.org, right? Greg. Just email me and I'll try to get to your question. And if you have something interesting or you want to connect, you can. So look, first of all, I believe that there should be strong leaders in small projects. When the project is just starting out, there shouldn't be too many cooks in the kitchen because you're not affecting so many people with your decisions. You're just trying to get your project on the right track. So whether it's a small startup like Qbix or Intercoin, or whether it's a family business, I don't mind if it's privately owned at all. It's just when something gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's no limit to, at some point you look and you say, look, these few people have an outsized influence on all these other people. So to the point of supporting that, there are many reasons to support that. Some people support that because in principle, they believe in private property with no limits. You can own an ocean. If you buy it, you own it. On the other hand, most people support it for psychological reasons, like you're saying. Well, look, at a time, people supported ideas about men and women that were different than we support today, or racial ideas that we support today are different than before. And we would look at those people and say, look, what they supported back then is because they don't know what we know now. The truth is, though, that they were also much poorer and they had less resources, and each person had exposure to much less information from around the world than we have today. They may have never seen someone of another race in their whole lives, or they may have seen everybody treat women a certain way, and so on. So when you say that people support a specific strong man today, I say, look, I support on a small level, you can have whatever you want pretty much, when you don't infringe on your wife's rights and your children's rights, right? You could be a father figure or whatever you want to be, as long as it's consensual, right? But as you get to a large level, whose consent are you getting? The consent of the governed usually is only 20% of the vote turnout. And then out of those, you get a plurality of and then 8% vote for you, and that's supposed to be the consent of the governed. You know, clearly society doesn't seem to agree. A lot of people today think that this current election was not representative. Forget this one. There were in Belarusia and others, there's all these questions about elections. My point is, why have these things be so big in the first place? Why give them so much decision-making power about all aspects of life? We need to have smaller organizations do that. And if things get too big, I do believe that they should either be democratically governed or there should be no one in charge, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's my point. But yes, today people are still used to strongmen the same way that they are used to talking about, in Thailand, you can't criticize the king. Okay, we think those are outdated ideas here, but there it's a traditional value. So that's what I would say about that.